Hey everybody, welcome to Kingdom of Honor. Does pop culture? It's the Shane's Book Addiction version. I am your host, Zanman Shane Sabuni, along with my good buddy, the Honorable Jeff.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about A Deadly Distance, the second in the Jack Noble series.
So for those of you that don't know, Shane's an avid reader. Jeff doesn't read. But I still like to listen to stories and see how much they make sense. So this is always fun to do because the last Jack Noble thriller that we read was, first in the series, had some issues. Let's put it that way.
It did.
This one here, though, when looking at it, it's about the same ratings, actually a little bit less. Goodreads, out of 6,700 people, rated it a 4. Amazon rated it a 4.5 with 7,900 people. So I think that first Jack Ryan, Goodreads had it like a 4.5 and a 4.9 on Amazon. So this one's rated a little bit less, which I find hard to do with all the issues in the first one. So
yeah,
where do you
I don't know.
Where do you,
Much better than the first one, I thought.
okay.
Yeah, I would. So, what did I give the first one? Like a 1.5 or something. So I'd probably give this one probably a 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I really, I, I think the ending was a little bit bizarre, but other than that, I thought it was quite good actually. So this one,
Is
so
it
this one, go ahead.
is it more bizarre than driving 3 hours to somebody's house when your buddy's dying in the back seat because you got to save him quickly? More bizarre than that?
Yes, it is because, all right, so towards the beginning of the book, um, Jack and his partner and another team of agents. It's not Bear Logan this time. It's another partner named Frank, because Bear is still in the Marines and Jack has gotten out. Remember, Jack got out at the end of the first book,
Right.
and this is like 2 years later. So Bear's put in his another 2 years, and he's kind of looking into getting out right now too. But it's I think his last name was Malone. I think it's Frank Malone is Jack's partner in this book, and they find this. Um, they basically stumble. They take down the bad guy, this bad guy at the beginning. They interrogate him, find out that he's part of a ring of guys that are smuggling kids. So they're kidnapping kids and then selling them overseas and that kind of thing. So they break into the house with the agents, team of agents. They kill the guys. They rescue the kids. Jack ends up getting a concussion. Okay. One of the kids turns out to be the illegitimate son of a senator, and the senator's one that's been running this ring of smuggling kids. So towards the end of the book, Jack and his love interest in this one, Sarah, who's a paramedic, the paramedic that treats him for his concussion initially. They were basically kidnapped uh, by a team sent by the senator, and one of them like hits Jack in the head with like pistol whips him, and Jack goes into convulsions and what's that word, seizure. He has a seizure um, from being hit in the head with after having already having the concussion. Okay. So then when he recovers from that, Zero like helps him, recover from that, and he's fine. And then they bring him to the house. They continue on their journey in the car. They bring him to the house with the senator. And Jack, who already has a concussion and just had a seizure from it, mouths off to the senator intentionally to get the senator to hit him, so the senator will not feel it's threatened by him and will hopefully like drop his guard. So he gets hit in the face by the senator after having this concussion, and then he mouths off to another one of the guys, so that the guy like grabs him by the hair and slams his head into the wall a couple
Is he not dead?
of times. But no seizure happens this time around. No seizure happens from this.
So he has a concussion that's bad enough he developed a seizure from it. And then immediately gets hit twice in the head pretty hard.
Yep.
And he's fine.
And he's pretty much fine. Yeah.
All right.
The next morning, they're basically going to get rid of Jack and Sarah, but they bring them to this dock area because they're gonna bring all their supplies and the money and the riches they earned from selling all these kids, plus the kids they have left to sell, and also the senator's son who's keeping. Basically, they're gonna sail away on this barge or whatever it is. So they have, dizzy, seizure-filled, concussion Jack Noble. They're basically making him be their pack mule. They're making him bring all the boxes from the warehouse to the ship, and then he's doing that for a couple hours, right? And then basically they're going to kill him. But of course, Jack gets the drop on his two people that are going to kill him, and then but they have taken Sarah and the two kind of decoy kids, put them in a car, and they drive. And then they set the car to drive off the dock into the water. So Jack, of course, dives in after them, and
With this concussion.
with his concussion, he saves the kids. He goes back in for Sarah, pulls her out. He's doing CPR on Sarah. Can't get her to come back up. And he tells the kids to do what he's been doing, and he's going to go after the bad guys, right? So
Okay, so hold up. So concussed Jack, who almost died from a seizure and then got multiple head shots afterwards, dove
Yep.
into a pressurized lake, came out fine, performed CPR, and then decided that since he can't do the CPR that he's trained for, he's going to run after the bad guys and leave the children in charge of the CPR to resurrect this chick.
that is correct. Remember,
Alright.
he also spent like 2 or 3 hours carrying boxes, from a warehouse by hand, and bringing them to this ship. So it's like he has and CPR, first of all, like swimming down in all your clothes and rescuing a couple of kids and going back in there and rescuing, an adult woman. That shit's gonna take a lot out of you. And then CPR takes a lot out of you, right?
Yeah.
So then, he goes in, he of course gets a drop on the bad guys. He kills like the number one thug basically for the senator. He's about to kill the senator. Somebody else gets dropped. Somebody else is behind him. He turns around, shoots that guy, and then he shoots the senator in the hand to get the rifle out of his hand. And then he decides he's gonna killing him is just shooting him isn't good enough. He's got to get some revenge on the senator, and so he basically picks the senator up on his shoulder, carries him over to the front of this semi truck, and then he bungees the senator's spread eagle onto the front of the semi. Looks around for a brick, finds a brick, jumps into the cab of the semi, and drives it towards the water. Puts the brick on the gas pedal, and then dives out of the fucking semi onto the concrete, so that the truck will then go into the ocean and drown the senator. Yeah, this is what a guy who has concussed, had seizures the day before, had been working for 2 to 3 hours, carrying boxes to a ship, killed a couple of guys, then dove in after some children and a woman, and performed CPR. That's what he does. That's what he's able to do. I would have been, I think most people, most human beings would not have been the energy to even pick up the guy, much less hold him to a semi and bungee him onto there, and then dive out of the semi as it's going. with a concussion. Remember. So while I think most of the book is really good, that like 30, 40 pages there where this stuff's happening is just like it's not believable. And it's ridiculous.
And are you gonna continue reading this series?
I will. I'll give it
That's-
another couple books.
I mean, that's 2 failures right there, 2 books that were complete failures.
Yeah, it's I mean you would have done that, right, Jeff? You would have done all that stuff.
No.
No, you wouldn't have.
No, I probably would be in bed if I had a concussion. Having someone check on me every 20 minutes to make sure I wasn't dying in my sleep.
Yeah, well, we
No,
both had
especially-
concussions, right? And they're not so easy. They're not anything really fully doing anything while you got a concussion.
No, and especially after you have a seizure. After one of them.
Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right, guys. Check our channel for some. We do a couple different shows a week. Check our channel for that. Just in the description below is links to all of our socials, and drop a like on this. It does help us out. So I don't know if you have any more about this book or not, but
no, not really. The next one up is going to be Red Country by Joe Abercrombie. As we're continuing through his First Law world. So
okay. All right. We'll do that one in a couple of weeks. We're taking next week off, so we'll do that one in 2 weeks.
all right. Thanks guys for watching. I would, I do think this book's a lot better than A Noble Beginning. So if you want to read a Jack Noble book, I'm not going to say I would recommend this one, but I recommend this one more than Noble Beginnings. Again, thanks for watching. This is Shane saying long days, pleasant nights, and Jeff saying
Goodbye.